Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Dark Side of the Word. We weed out the good, the bad, the creepy, so you don't have to. Join us as we discuss our latest book club reads and content recommendations. All topics are dissected and debated from a creative's perspective. New episodes are posted every second and last Thursday of the month. Watch Dark Side of the Word on YouTube or listen to the audio-only version on iHeart, Apple, and Spotify. Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's time to sit back, relax, have that cup of tea or coffee, a snack maybe, because this is the moment in your life where it is time to have some escapism. Let's forget about the rest of the world and let's come into this moment, shall we?
Talk about snack for a second? Because that, even though I just ate dinner, that sounds absolutely delicious. I totally want a snack right now. And apparently a dinner. That was like a Freudian slip right there. Apparently I want second dinner. So,
well, I believe we're all hobbits, so.
Yes. Yes, and I have a glass of ice water because it is fuck 1,000 degrees in New Jersey where I am, and I cannot take it anymore. So ice water for the win.
I think you might be hotter than me.
It's just wrong. It shouldn't be that way. I went out for a walk earlier in 94-degree heat, and I struggled up the hill. It was just too much. I can't be going out in there anymore.
That's kind of mornings here.
What do you say?
That's kind of like morning temperature here.
94? Oh my God.
I did go for a run this morning.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Good for you. I am not so ambitious with the running.
But I did actually make myself a bowl of oatmeal, or as my husband likes to call it, a bowl of milk before this. Because I essentially put so much milk and cacao powder in it that it looks like soup and not porridge. But, whatever. It tastes good, okay?
Whatever floats your boat.
Now, if you are wondering what is going on here today, friends, yes, this is the book club that we will be talking about. Home is Where the Bodies Are by, what are we going to say? Geneva Rose?
Geneva Rose.
Geneva Rose. And if you are just here to talk about the book or you want to know our thoughts, you can skip ahead in the show notes. You don't have to hear us gab along. But if you're here because you love us.
It's a very floppy book you have there.
I know, right?
Very
I think that says a lot. But if you want to hear us gab about what we're working on, what we're watching, what we're reading, all that jazz, make sure to just stick around. We'll eventually get to the book, I promise. Just if you're impatient, click ahead. I guess we won't hate you. I don't know. We're here for this moment. Remember I said get the cup of tea and the snack because we're supposed to be here to escape.
Exactly.
And you need more escapism recommendations, right?
Always, always. I don't want to live in this reality, so let's go to a different one.
I'm trying something new with my bangs, and I have this one hair that's like... Okay, so.
Always in the way.
How did Elizabeth Bennet do it? I don't know.
I know.
Anywho's, friends, we are ready to get rocking and rolling. I don't know who wants to go first or what we even want to talk about, because I'm just so frazzled, but okay.
Okay, I will go first because I am not as frazzled. I think. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm frazzled, but I feel like I'm not as frazzled. So I will go first. So normally I talk about what I'm watching, but I am very boring lately and not really watching anything. I've been reading a lot, which I will get to in a second. But what I am doing instead of watching is I am listening to things. So I have found a new podcast. It is called Two Girls, One Ghost. So I am finally almost caught up with binging my favorite supernatural story podcast, which is Scared to Death. And I was wondering what I'm going to be listening to next because I was like, oh my God, I'm at the last few episodes. What am I going to listen to while I walk around? And then I just stumbled on this Two Girls, One Ghost podcast. It was on Instagram. And I follow Whitney Way Thor from Big Fat Fabulous Life, and apparently she went to Salem to record an episode, I think, with them for some reason, and that's how I saw the podcast. It has two women, they're co-hosts, and they tell ghost stories on their podcast. So they have research tales about Appalachian lore and haunted houses and cryptids and demonic possessions and some unsolved mysteries and UFO things. Pretty much everything that Scared to Death covers, with a little bit more lean on Appalachian folklore, which I really like because it's very different and I'm not used to hearing that. And then they also read fan submitted paranormal encounters, which are really my favorite episodes because I haven't heard any of them, obviously, so it's kind of fun. Um, and both hosts did some acting for a while or went to drama school, I think. So they're really good at reading the stories and bringing everything to life, and it makes it feel extra creepy. So it is a lot of fun. There's some good scares, some different stories. I recommend it if you're looking for a good supernatural story podcast.
Well, I have 2 road trips coming up,
Yeah.
or 1 road trip at least out of the 2. I haven't decided if it could be a road trip or a plane flight for the second one, but
Okay.
I know for one I have a 5-hour road trip this month.
Oh.
God, I almost said next month. This month, so I might end up putting that on.
They have
Because we
8
like to
years,
listen to podcasts.
8 seasons, I mean. So they've been
And you
on
started
a
from the
while.
beginning?
I started at the very beginning, but then my Spotify is doing something weird where whenever I stop listening to the episode, I lose where it is.
Oh,
And like it
okay.
doesn't automatically jump back to it when I go back to that podcast. It only happens for Two Girls, One Ghost, and I have no idea why. Everything else goes back to whatever episode I was listening to. So I started off doing older episodes and then I just couldn't find them again. So now I'm just listening to the most recent ones. But eventually I will get through the whole back catalog because I really like it.
All right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to try it. There's also one, was it Radio Something, about these crazy stories people have. I don't know if they're all supernatural, but just some of those extreme stories that happen to people. And the reason I knew about it is my friend was interviewed to be on it, but then
Oh,
something
cool.
happened and her episode got cut. But
That
I was like,
sucks.
oh my gosh.
Radio something. Is it spooky stuff?
Kind of. It's just like weird stories that people have been through,
Okay.
kind of
I like
thing.
those. Those are good.
But they have really good acting and voices as well. I'm gonna have to try to figure out the name of this.
Nice.
I don't remember. But yeah, if you are interested in Two Girls and One Ghost, I will make sure that I link their show in our show notes.
Yes,
So you
you
don't have to
should.
remember anything about this. If you're driving in your car or walking, I'll save it. But don't forget, listen to us first. Just remember who gave you that recommendation.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So what are you watching or listening to right now?
I am not listening to anything interesting. Well, I guess I'm listening to an audiobook, but my podcast days, all I listen to is astrology podcasts right now, so that's not interesting for some people. But I finished watching, I guess I started and I finished watching Sirens, which is
Ooh.
a little limited series on Netflix. It stars an actress that I've seen a lot. She was in like CW show. Oh, God, me and the fucking names today. Anyway, it's essentially about this sister who gets an edible arrangement from her other sister and is like, fuck this, goes across the state to go confront her sister because their dad has Alzheimer's, and she's like, I fucking need your help. And then she stumbles into this weird job that her sister has working for the ultra rich as a personal assistant, and then things just progress and we get to the ending.
Yes. I love Sirens. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I was sucked in because, well, one, I love the actress that was in it, the one that I said is in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I know
Is
she was
that
in White
Julianne
Lotus.
Moore or the one who was in the House of the Dragons? Or I don't know who the other one
House
is,
of
but she
the
was in another Netflix one.
Oh, no, it was the older sister that
The
came.
older sister. Okay, yeah, I don't know her name. She was in that other one with Nicole Kidman on Netflix.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I know she was on, yeah, I think you're right. The one with Nicole Kidman, she was on White Lotus, but I found her from being on a show about these girls who worked in like a Vogue magazine thing, and I just cannot remember the name. It was really good. It was one of those CW shows. That's where I found her to begin with. But anyway, I love her as an actress, so I really enjoyed watching that, and I love the fucking setting, especially right
Yes.
now as it's summertime and everyone is essentially filling up my feed with Hampton videos and
Yeah. Anything seaside right now.
Nantucket, just all that bullshit. And like I'm gearing up to watch I'm thinking the last season of The Summer I Turned Pretty because all aesthetics, summertime feels for that. But so that sucked me in. I thought it was also extremely funny. I thought that a lot of the staff in the house with like the text message.
Yes.
Texting.
Oh
Stop
my
group
God,
texting about me. But I got to the end of the show and I was like, what the fuck was the point of all this? And then,
Yeah.
stupid me fashion, because I just can't, I take everything so literal.
Stupid fashion. I Googled it. I found out what the point of the show is, and I went, this is the most amazing show ever now that I understand. It's like me watching Mother. Like, God damn it. Like, I had Googled the point of that surrealist movie halfway through, and then once I saw what they were doing, I was like, this is the most fucking movie ever.
I just like watching rich people problems, and I feel like they just bought out Lily Pulitzer's entire catalog of summer wardrobe.
But in case people were wondering, the show is actually, as we watch all these people catfight and all these women go after each other, how much the men are actually manipulating and controlling the whole scenario. And it's actually, even though we see the women as the evil ones, it's actually the men pulling the strings in the background, manipulating the situation in their nice manners. That is the real catalyst. So if you watch it with those eyes, you'll actually see what's happening and you'll go, what the fuck? This is true.
And also, I would like to do a shout out to, I forget what episode it is, but there is a song where the older sister is in the car with like these waspy women and they're going somewhere, and the song is Wet Ass Pussy. And it is the best song ever. I have added it to my playlists because it is hilarious. Especially in that scene.
You heard it?
Huh?
Was that the first time you heard it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. I don't listen to well, I guess it wouldn't be on the radio anymore because it's kind of inappropriate for radio.
I think there's I guess a clean version, I think.
Oh, that's probably not
I don't remember. But yeah, that okay. There was a whole thing about that song and okay.
Really? Okay. Well, I am like 3 years late or something to finding it out.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's fantastic. If anybody's like me, go listen to it and be amazed.
So I think that's all I've watched. It was fun. It was a little escapism. I think that's a great escapism show. And so many people are complaining about the fact that there wasn't this supernatural element that was alluded to in all of it. But I think if you watch it with different eyes, you'll understand.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really well done. I think it's a very intelligent show.
Yeah.
Wrapped in a pretty package.
Yeah, it definitely got like more depth to it the longer you watched it and the longer like the episodes went on. So yeah, I liked it a lot. It was good.
All right, next.
Okay, reading.
Let's go.
Reading. I just finished reading a fantastic horror thriller book called Delicate Condition, which is about an actress who's desperate to have a baby, goes through IVF, and then is kind of convinced that something's wrong with the unborn baby. And she also seems to have a stalker who's intent on not letting the baby be born. So one of the blurbs on the book calls it the feminist update to Rosemary's Baby that we all need, and I could not say it better myself. If you love Rosemary's Baby, you will love this book. It is so, so good. I loved it. I couldn't stop reading it. I just wanted to read it all the time. It's pretty thick too. It's a slow burn, so you might not like it, Kate, but it's excellent. I think if you're a Rosemary's Baby fan, again, just do this one.
Is this the one that you told me not to read though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think you should read it, but
yeah.
If anybody's a Rosemary's Baby fan, this will be a good book for you. But there is very triggering content in it, obviously, so just wade in carefully. But it's really good. Also, definitely one of the better horror books I've read in a while. It had some very creepy scenes in it that just really made like my skin crawl.
I am very excited for some of the horror books that have been coming out this year and the ones slated for like the end of the year and next year, because we're getting a fresh take on horror that I'm so happy about, because I started seeing so much repetitive nature in horror. I don't know if that's the writers or the publishers or people, what they're buying, but we shall see, because I did look up a list and I might add a couple to our calendar for next year that I'm just like, these look good. They're different, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like Bat Eater, where it was just like this ability for us to see like a different culture's perspective on ghosts and just all the stuff where we get just something different instead of just
give me all the Bat Eater books, because that was just so good.
Oh, yes, please check out our episode. It's probably, I don't know, it is gearing up to maybe be one of my best books of the year. One of my top reads. Yeah, absolutely. It's really getting there.
Yeah. All right. So what are you reading?
So I don't remember I think I did finish it since the last episode, but I finally finished Assassin's Apprentice. My recap and reactions and review of the book should already be out on YouTube. So if you're curious about like what I thought about everything, I also, I did talk about it last episode, but I also realized that I made a mistake talking about it last episode.
Uh-oh.
I did the millennial thing. I said the book was 20 years old.
Uh-oh.
It's 30 years old.
Well, you're like 1994 was yesterday.
That's exactly what happened. So yeah, it's a lot older than...
Happens to the best of us.
Oh, I don't want to fall into that trap.
I am well ensnared in that trap. Have been for a while.
Currently, I am reading Binding 13. I believe it's Binding. You know, there's all these names and numbers. I was sucked in because it is finally a rugby romance book.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And if anyone knows, my partner plays rugby. Rugby is a big part of our life. Like, finally something exciting and cool. But ugh.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
good.
good.
Not good. Oh.
I also, which when I was getting the recommendations for this book, and where I saw this book, especially at Barnes and Noble, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's like YA, which it shouldn't be, and that the characters are 15 and 70. I just don't want romance books. I don't want to be begging for sexy time and have smoldering eyes and all this stuff with underage children.
No, that's a little weird. I mean, it's okay if you're of that age and reading it, but yeah, that would make me supremely uncomfortable.
Exactly, and I'm I'm this person that probably will end up finishing the book because that's just what I do. But I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the series.
Yeah.
I'm fine with college kids. Like, give me the freshmen in college. That's my limit. But like, you get
Any younger than that, it's a little odd.
okay, and maybe I'm a bad person, but I need your opinion. Okay.
Okay. All right. I
So
could be a
he's
bad person
17.
too, though. I don't know if I can help with this.
He's 17, and she's a month away from being 16. Okay, so she's
Okay.
like almost 16 years old in this book.
Okay.
He doesn't want to date her or be around her because it's one, illegal, and she's too young for him.
Okay, not too young. I feel like that's not a huge age difference. I knew plenty of seniors who dated freshmen and vice versa in high school.
Yeah, it's not illegal for a 17-year-old to date an almost 16-year-old. You're both, and especially when you're both in school together.
Well, I think legally it is, but yeah, technicality you could press charges.
See this, I do think all that stuff is kind of stupid in that sense of
When
like
you're all around that same age, then yeah, it is ridiculous. But legally,
Especially-
yes, it is technically illegal.
especially if you're 18 and you're still in high school. Like say it's your senior year, you turn 18 in the middle of the year. That's so stupid. Now, granted, this is set in Ireland,
Oh, okay.
which is fun. That's probably also the reason I'll finish it.
Yeah.
But it's just like that as a plot line, though, of you being like she's too young and she's she's not even a year and a half, or she's barely a year and a half younger than you. Like I can't use that as a plot device.
No, no, definitely not. It's not. If you don't have the same interests or you feel more grown up or something and she's very immature for her age, I don't know, maybe, but if she's too immature for her age, why are you liking her, you know?
But see, that's the thing. That's how they're getting around the whole like, oh, she's so much younger than me. She's so mature for her age.
Okay, then yeah, it shouldn't matter. You're both still kids. You're both still kids. There's still a teen in your age title. So
Yes, your
suck it
brain
up.
is not fully developed yet. Still.
No, you're all going to make very stupid choices for a while longer yet. So do them together. Make them together.
Yeah. So that has been fun, and God, I am about to break my moral code.
It's your moral code.
So I try very hard to base and talk about authors from a purely opinion standpoint. Like all of my thoughts about books, all of my feelings about how authors write are surely just my opinion.
Yes.
And everyone's a great artist and everyone's a great writer, and no, I don't like to shit on anyone, okay?
Okay.
But there's one author that I will spit in their face if I ever shake their hand, and I will tell them how much of a disgusting person they are, okay?
Okay.
And I will burn their book. Like I don't care what bridges I burn hating this author, okay?
What did they do to arouse such ire?
Oh, yeah, they turned a female character into a 12-year-old boy. Anyway, there was the sensitivity reading for that. I'll let you say this. A white man writing the perspective of a Middle Eastern woman.
Okay.
That's a problem for me. Okay.
Okay.
And did a really bad job. But like just the like, how dare you think you can do that? Anyway. Well, this said person has one of their books being made into a movie. And I saw the trailer for said movie, and I really kind of want to see it, read the book now.
Really? All right, you have
God
to tell
help
me.
me.
You have to tell me off podcast what this is because I am curious.
Yeah.
Would I know the
don't-
book or the author?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you will. I'll tell you off because I don't want to like say this
Yeah,
person's
no,
name
don't
and
don't
give
risk
them
it. Don't risk it. It's okay.
But help me.
Wait,
God
wait
damn
until
it.
don't go see it in the theaters. Wait until it comes
True,
out on
okay.
streaming. So it's just part of what you would normally access anyway.
Okay,
There you
I
go.
like that idea.
Yeah.
But I can't even blame it on I didn't know that this person wrote the book for this movie because it's just too obvious. So I can't even play stupid.
Okay. Okay. You grapple with
Yeah.
that moral dilemma then for a little while longer.
God damn it. And it has an actor I really like it in it too, and I'm just like, God damn it. God fucking damn it.
I'm really intrigued. I have to write this down so I remember to ask you later when we're off
Yes.
about it.
I'll try not to forget either.
A movie.
But, all
Hopefully
right,
that's enough to
so-
trigger my memory. I'll just
Getting
look at it
off
and be
that
like, what
topic.
about a movie?
Getting off that topic, how's your writing going, CJ? How's your project?
Writing is going well. So I have finished outlining, index carding, plotting the revisions for Ghost Children, and I've actually started revising and writing the chapters, which is awesome. I'm feeling good. It's a dual narrative book. I think I've mentioned that before. So I am writing one narrative all the way through, and then I'm going to go back and write the other narrative all the way through.
That's a
just to
good
keep
idea.
it. Yeah. After hearing that Cynthia Paleo did that for her Vanishing Daughters? Yeah. Did that, then I was like, oh, maybe that's a good idea because I was getting too tripped up going back and forth, and already it's making a difference to just have one storyline in my head. Though, like when I'm in the shower and I have an idea about the other storyline, I'll be like, well, that should have come up already. Why didn't I, address that in the chapter? I'm like, oh, I'm not writing that timeline yet. I have to wait until I'm done. So it's still a little confusing in my head. But,
Especially with how, not to give anything away, and I don't think it will, but especially how like your two characters interact, it's much better for them to be written separate.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. So I've revised 3 chapters so far. So I'm on a roll, which is good.
Yeah, you are on a big CJ roll here.
I am. So I'm feeling good about it. Writing most days, not every day, because I'm taking time on weekends to like go out and play. But writing most days, which is good.
Now that you have been doing this a lot, because we talked about this with the interview with Amy and her 2-week challenge, and like this whole shift of your writing style coming around to more daily stuff. Like, how is it feeling? Like, are you enjoying the fact that like getting out more and having that free time to be able to like live life? It's really rejuvenating you more too.
Yeah, it's totally different. I love it. Right now I'm getting through about a chapter a day or a chapter like an hour, a little over an hour, depends. But these are like easy revisions on the chapters, but I feel like that's a good guideline. I'm still trying to write an hour each day that I can. And if I can't do an hour, I'll do a half hour. But I like it. I like, again, touching base with my art every day. It's helpful to keep the story in mind. And it's just, I feel like I'm making progress. And if there's a day where I don't want to do something, I don't feel so damn guilty about it because there's always tomorrow or the next day.
I mean, this is a huge, listeners, if you haven't been like following our podcast since the beginning today, this is a huge turnaround for CJ because she was the person that was like, I will only write on the weekends because I need to be immersed in the world for hours upon hours to be there. And for her to say that she's staying immersed in the world enough that she can touch on it every day, like that's
true.
Who are you? Do I need to ask her a code word? Do I need to ask her a special word?
I know. It's very different. I never thought I would get to this place, but I have, and I really like it. It's just a different way of writing, which is good for this book because it's a different book. It's something that I've never written before. So I think it fits what I'm writing. And
I know, and I do feel that, I don't know, CJ. Yes, I'm giving you credit for it. Amy's book But it's just a change, even for me, and just the way that I'm approaching the, I don't want to say quality of my writing, but essentially just like, this is good enough. Especially
Yeah.
nowadays with the books that are going out. I already know I'm above like a lot of the quality, so I'm like, this is fine. I don't need to sit here and rip my hair out thinking that it's not good enough. Like, let's get it out there. But I just really like it. And I know this is going to be way too late for the podcast to come out. So ignore listeners that this is too late. But just for you, CJ, to know, Amy is offering all her classes like half off right now because she's getting rid of them. So if there's anything you're interested, because she wants to bring out some new stuff. So
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
I know. Which
So what are you
I'm
working
considering
on?
one. So I'm still, so exciting. Still in the same fucking book. I finally, it took a little longer than I wanted them to, but I finally got through the 2 new chapters I had to complete right from scratch. And I was telling CJ the other day that I think they're humorous. Like, she says I'm always funny.
I think she's always has humor. There are definitely some scenes in her book that I cackled at. So
There's a reference to Subway in my book, and I actually never thought that was humorous, but supposedly like CJ just died over it.
I like that. But that wasn't the scene that I was thinking of. There is a scene in a supermarket where I can't remember her name now, but she goes and then drops everything on the ground, and I was like dying, and it was fantastic.
Marisol is the
Marisol, thank you. That's it, Marisol. And Ben, I remember Ben. I couldn't remember Marisol.
Well, I never saw these moments as funny, but I was writing the new stuff, and I was like, this is actually funny. So let's see, it'll be shit. It's gonna be utter shit.
Yeah, like this is great. And you're like, never mind. Tomorrow.
So I'm waiting a week because I'm gonna like move forward in revisions because I want those chapters to sit for a little bit so I forget them and kind of can go back and edit them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit. They're written out. I think that they're pretty good, so I shouldn't have to really revise them too much. So now I'm moving ahead. I'm back to just revising chapters I've already written, and that is my dog.
Hello, dog.
And like you, I do it every day. I at least try. Probably not on the weekends just because life's too busy, and I've got a menagerie, as you can hear.
Yes.
And I feel like he's gonna make an appearance. Hello. And so I probably also get almost a chapter every sit down as well that I do it because I'm not like, there's not a lot going on. I'm making minor edits. This is like final edit stuff. Everything's mostly been done. Structure's there. I'm just taking out the stuff that I find cringy now. I'm like changing a few plot points because of decisions that we made, but I'm just plugging along. I would really like to have this book done before the end of October. So we shall see.
Okay.
Because I would love to send it off to copy edits as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And start working on the cover of myself. Working on that. I don't need kisses right now.
Oh, cute.
I know. So yeah, do you have a deadline, or are you just willy-nilly your book?
I want to start querying in January.
Okay.
That is my goal. So I want to finish revisions soonish and then send to you soonish after that. I'm going to send to beta readers soonish after I get back feedback from you and do any revisions there. And then hopefully I can have it ready to go to agents in January. That's my goal.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for me too.
I'm very excited for you.
Thank you.
Anything else I'm working on? I don't know. Just doing crafty things. I came up with some really cool clothing designs that I'm
Nice.
hopefully going to implement soon. Let me just say this. I ordered some vintage handkerchiefs
Oh,
off eBay.
okay.
So
Very
I've got
nice.
some ideas.
Okay. I'm excited to see what happens with your vintage handkerchiefs.
All right. Are we ready
I'm ready.
to get to the whole reason why people are here today?
I'm ready to go. Yes.
Okay. Well, before we get into discussing this book, if you are still here with us, just a quick word.
And if you're new to the podcast, then welcome! We love having you here. We want to take a second to go over a few things about our episodes. 1. Dark Side of the Word is hosted by Kait and CJ, 2 writers and creatives who can't get enough books, shows, movies, or podcasts about all things dark and creepy. 2, we're generally a book club podcast, meaning that we will be discussing the book in the episode title. There will be detailed spoilers, so if you haven't read the book yet, you might want to click away and check out our other episodes. 3, we love exploring stories with haunted houses, dark academics gone rogue, serial killer thrillers, reimagined monsters and myths, and so much more. 4, this also means that we're going to be discussing mature and sometimes triggering content, whatever the themes are featured in the book. If you're underage and you don't think that your parents are going to like you reading the book, then they're probably not going to like you listening to this podcast. Otherwise, thank you again for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a book, and use the comment section to continue the conversation or share your thoughts.
We're back. Okay, so it is time for book club discussion, and again, we are talking about Home. Oh, I was just about to block this title. Anyway, Home is Where the Bodies Are by Jeneva Rose. They say nowadays with AI, we really should fuck up and just be like our messy selves, because AI can't be messy. So
that's
I'm just
true.
going to be messy.
I feel like AI can still be messy. If you're looking at a lot of recipes out there that tell you to add like mutter instead of butter to something, that's pretty messy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to read the back of the book for all of you all.
I'm ready.
All right. Nothing brings people together better than death.
That's very true. That's when I see most of my extended family.
Yeah.
I can say that. They don't listen to the podcast, so it's true.
I'm trying to think.
Weddings and funerals. That's it.
You know, I feel like in my life I've only actually been invited to like 2 weddings.
There were a lot of weddings for a while. Now it's mostly funerals. Awkward.
Yeah. I guess 2 funerals. All the people that died on my mother's side so far have all been cremated. There wasn't shit for them.
Not even like a little gathering, a repast, at least food. There has to be food in my family. That's the main reason we all actually go.
So the only actual funeral I feel like I've been to, like the traditional sense, was when my grandmother on my dad's side passed. So I guess I saw people there.
Okay.
And then the other funeral that was very traditional, I was out of state, so I watched it on the computer.
How lovely. What does one say for that? Okay. Well, moving on back to the back of the book.
Okay. After their mother passes, 3 estranged siblings reunite to sort out her estate. While going through their parents' belongings, they stumble upon a collection of home videos and decide to revisit those happier memories. But the nostalgia is cut short when one of the VHS tapes reveals a night that none of them have any recollection of. On screen, their father appears covered in blood. What follows is a dead body and a pact between their parents to get rid of it before the video abruptly ends. Beth, Nicole, and Michael must now decide whether to leave the past in the past or uncover the dark secret their mother took to her grave.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're going to start off a little differently. What was your rating for Home is Where the Bodies Are?
So I think our streak ended.
Uh-oh.
Because I think it was the last 2-ish books we agreed on, correct? Because it was Bat Eater we agreed on.
The sister one I hated.
No, but I think...
Was there another one in between?
I think we both were on the same page about the Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yeah, we both liked that one. Enough.
Then there was the sister one, and then we both agreed on Bog Wife, I believe.
Yeah,
we were both like, about it.
Yeah.
I think you were a little more than I was, but we were. Yeah, so the streak is over.
What did you give it?
1 star.
1? Wow. Well, I'm not surprised. The whole time I was reading this, I was like, Kate's hating this book. She's probably hating this book. Absolutely hating it. It's probably torture for her. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Just remember that when I make you read one of your out of your comfort zone books, that I read this book for you.
Okay. It's for our listeners. We can't just do the same thing over and over again. Listeners who love thrillers, we did this for you. Kate did this for you. She sacrificed and suffered you.
I did. Now, let's be honest though, CJ. It is a 3.5 rounded to 4 for you. Because you gave it 4 on Goodreads.
Was it 4 on Goodreads?
Yes.
Yeah. So I know we were both iffy about this one going in, and I was just really surprised by how much I enjoyed it and how much I was sucked into it. But I can't exactly tell you why. It's kind of like how we used to say, I liked it because I liked it. And like that's kind of it. There's not, it's to me, it's not badly written. It's not amazingly written. I saw some things coming. I didn't see other things coming. I just was very into the whole thing and I just kept wanting to read. It was like with that other book I just read, The Delicate Condition. I just kept wanting to go back into it and I just could not get enough. So I don't know. 3.5 stars. Was it my favorite book of the year? No. Was it a satisfying read for me? Yes, it was.
Should have known that there was going to be an issue with this book when I was in the horror section looking for this book, only to realize it was not in the horror section. And I had to march my little self over to the mystery and thriller section.
So you came into this with an idea in your head. You think that just,
have you seen
colored
this cover?
your vision of how it would be?
Have you seen this cover?
I like the cover.
I agree. I like the cover too. But when I was looking for this book, this doesn't scream mystery thriller, first off. Second off, especially in the mystery thriller section, this stood out. So no, I did not think that a title, Home is Where the Bodies Are, was going to be in the mystery thriller section. No, I did not. I definitely made an assumption.
Okay. That's okay.
Which, I'm sorry, but the title doesn't essentially give away the whole book.
I thought that when I finally got to the end, I was like, oh, duh, of course. It tells us in the title where the bodies are. How did I not realize this the whole time I was reading?
In terms of thriller books, and if I go through my list of what I've read, I would definitely say this is on the very bottom of the list.
Really? Okay, tell me why.
I guess I have an expectation with mystery and thrillers that they will wow me. That there'll be something interesting, some hook at the end, some excitement, something to make my heart beat a little bit, and all like, no, she did it, kind of like vibe in everything that's going on. And one of my biggest issues with this book was the very fact that every time that Rose tried to throw some sort of like moment into the book, literally 5 pages later, it would be like, oh, that's not a thing anymore. It was like, I'm just doing this because I'm writing a thriller book and I need to capture your attention and have those moments, but really they're pointless to the whole thing.
Like what? What's a moment?
So one of them that they had was specifically when Nicole comes running back into the room and is like, oh my God, I don't think our parents just killed the little girl. And then literally 2 seconds later, that gets completely thrown out the window. And it was just like, oh no, I forget what was said to prove that they didn't, but it was just literally like, oh, that's not a thing anymore.
Oh, I thought it was a thing that they were kind of curious about for a while. I didn't think it got resolved.
It was resolved pretty quickly. I was just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And I know there were more. I thought that the dad line of the whole email, which I get, like, but it was just so obvious that wasn't going to go anywhere as well. And it just, it tried to be amped so much that there was going to be all these big things. And then especially the limp ending.
The limp ending.
The limp ending.
The limp ending. Why was the limp? Why was the ending limp for you?
I mean, come on. Like, we have a kid. First off, how do I put all this?
You're just so triggered by this book.
Why would the parents not call the cops? I get the excuse.
I agree.
But it's just, that is such an extreme step to take. Yeah. And they try to explain in a way as to why that would do it. But they're just not crazy enough to have done it. And using an example of being hit by the car instead of his daughter, that's an any parent jerk any parent response. Okay. Yeah. But to actively have your child come to you and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I think I killed someone. Yeah. Can you cover, can you go, no, come on. No.
Yeah. That was something that did bother me throughout the book. Like, maybe it's a good thing I'm not going to have kids because I would not cover up that shit for my kid if that happened. Like, if there was an
Oh,
accident and it's a kid, I would take it to the police, to the law, and trust in the process, even as flawed as it is. But if I thought it was on purpose, like my kid actually killed somebody, I'd be like, let's get you some help and get you to like the psychiatric facility because that is not normal behavior and we should
they,
stop it before you become worse.
but they didn't even have an inkling that it was on purpose till after the body was hidden.
Yeah,
Remember?
I mean,
'Cause
parents are very blind about their children.
so
Very
that's what I'm
blind. And
saying.
this
It's even
is,
more like the fact that it was an accident and they hid the body. Like there wasn't this was on purpose. I'm going to hide the body.
yeah. I
And
just,
yeah.
I feel like I've read a lot of thrillers and seen a lot of thrillers where the premise is, or the reveal ends up being that the parent is taking the fall for the kid who did something. And I am kind of tired of that because it just is kind of obvious.
They didn't
Not
even
so
take the
great.
fall though. It's just, and then they kept being like, oh, there's more bodies, there's more people dying. And then we find out that there's very much a logical reason. And then the
Mm-hmm.
other person did run away.
Yeah.
And I just, okay, so whether or not the kid pushed her over the ledge, okay, like
Okay.
on purpose or not, I mean, whatever, that's even questioned. Let's be honest, that's even a question.
That's
If it
true.
was that much on purpose. If you're gonna believe that your son could be that much of a serial killer, like if you want to play that up, that he really did it on purpose, like we need more evidence that he was a psychopath.
I mean, the fact that he later tries to kill his sisters, psychopath.
I don't know. Is that psychopath or is that just such a fucking fear that you don't want to go to jail now? Because he did
No,
at that
that's
point kill his dad
psychopath.
by accident. But I don't
Accident.
know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of a trail. There's a little bit of a history there. I feel like Michael is a psychopath. He's
I
and he
guess I
could have
just,
killed the girlfriend. We don't know.
I know.
We
It's
didn't
just,
hear much about that.
hence the use of my word limp.
Limp,
Limp.
limp. I did not expect the dad to be dead though. That was a complete shock to me. And my notes here say, "Oh my God, the dad is dead. Who's the creepy duck?" And then it's because it autocorrected from fuck. Who's the creepy duck who answered the email as her dad saying he's closer than you think? WTF.
I love, I love Duck. Duck is great.
Thank you, autocorrect, for that moment. But I did not expect that. And I was like, oh my God, he's in the ground. Because we all thought it was going to be that neighbor, Charles, or whatever his name
Which
was.
he was though, I think, right? Because it was the dad, Charles, and the little girl. What's her name?
Oh, yeah. But
'Cause
not the photograph girl. She ran
no, the
away.
photograph girl got away because she was given money, which at
Okay.
least some,
Yeah.
at least
Oh, yeah.
something
So we thought
really
it was
happy
going to be.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dad being dead, I did not see. So that was a good twist. When did you know it was going to be one of the kids that did something?
I hate to admit this, but I think I just checked out so much I wasn't even guessing the ending. Because I was just like, this is stupid. And let me just read.
Okay.
I am also just monumentally, maybe it's because of my own fucked up background, okay? But I'm
Okay.
just monumentally over fucked up family dynamic stories.
That is one of my notes too, is that I am over the sibling drama plot points. I feel like there's a lot of that in horror right now, like the listen to your sister, all the family, the sibling dynamics. And as an only child, I just don't give a fuck about that stuff. I think, toxic families should just stay apart. Why bother trying to come back together?
I think Listen to Your Sister didn't bother me as much because it was a little bit of a different family dynamic than
Hmm.
this version. And it was also the biggest plot point of the story into why all the horror was happening. And I don't want to give that book away here, but it was a part of the horror. Whereas this was just like, we're just going to make and follow the typical steps of writing a book. And we're just going to make everyone fucked up and have these very overly obvious issues with them so that I can then make this a family dynamic book, because there's a difference between like the way that Rose did it in here and say the way that Grady Hendrix did it in How to Sell a Haunted House. Like How to Sell
Yeah.
a Haunted House, I don't know, like those family dynamics were a lot better done And it was a part of the plot. Whereas I feel
Yeah.
like everyone here, except for the brother, everyone in this book, it was literally like, I'm just gonna make them fucked up so that they can be fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
how is Nicole being a drug addict have anything to do with the plot of this book?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
Or would this book have been better if she was like a mom with 5 kids, overly like busy and crazy and just consumed in taking care of her kids, and that's why she's not as involved with the extended family?
I feel like, I mean, I don't have an answer for that if Nicole weren't a drug addict, but I feel, even though I'm annoyed with the sibling drama things, I feel like I appreciate that some stories are making it a bit more realistic, that families aren't perfect and they're broken. So I appreciate that. And that you don't just have to get along because you're blood. And in this book, at the very end, the only reason that Beth and Nicole formed a relationship is because their brother tried to kill them. It took an act of that magnitude to get these two to be civil toward each other. I'm like, that's usually not what happens in life, but short of that, like, do siblings actually have any hope of, reconnecting to each other?
I mean, in my life, no. Like, there's no
Yeah.
hope for us. And we don't have a brother, so
I don't
that
have
angle's
anybody, so
not
I
going to
don't
help
know.
us.
But I feel like it's very telling that it took a potential murder to get these two to be normal to each other again. Other than that,
Okay.
they might have just hated each other forever.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I will give you that one. But then how, like, we make such a huge jump. How does Beth even get back in contact with her daughter? Like, how did that even happen? Like, they had such a strange relationship, and all of a sudden,
She
like,
said it
what
took a few
changes?
years.
But
I guess nearly dying and nearly being murdered by your brother is like a big epiphany thing.
I
And it
guess.
makes you reevaluate and be like, I should be closer to the people I thought I hated so they don't
Okay.
try and kill me too.
Okay. What did you like about this book? Can you convince me to change my rating? Probably not.
I really can't. I don't know what it was that made me really like this book.
Oh, let me think. Because it was in a cute little farmhouse on kind of acreage.
Nope.
And
Nope.
no,
No.
no,
I think
okay.
it was kind of an escape read. We talk about how everything can be an escape. This is an escape read for me for some reason. It was just kind of light. I didn't have to think too much about it. It kept going for me. It was propulsive enough for me where I just kept wanting to read it. And I wanted to know ultimately who did it, who done it. I always like to know, and I wanted to see if I could figure it out. But I don't know why I liked it. I just really did.
I would
Maybe it was the
rather
right time for me to read this book. I don't know.
I would rather read another Frida McFadden book.
I haven't read a Frida McFadden book. I've been thinking of doing
Oh.
so. Should I not do that?
Her writing is not the best, like the
Hmm.
actual writing of it. However, the twist at the end, I'll have to look it up because I don't remember which one I read. But if you want like a twisty book that you won't see the ending coming and you're like,
Yeah.
I did really like that
Okay.
part of it. To me, it was worth reading through it because I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
At the end of
So
it all.
while you were talking, I was thinking that maybe Home is Where the Bodies Are isn't so much a thriller as just a suspense. Because, like,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying about a thriller. And, like, for me, I read a lot of, like, low-key thrillers, I guess, where I'm not wowed or I'm not, like, Lucy Foley's books. I like her stuff, the one she wrote, The Guest List and Midnight Feast. I really like her stuff, but nothing is really, oh my God, this is so shocking and I didn't see this coming. But it's
Yeah.
suspenseful and I like that. It's different from what I normally read.
So yeah, I think that there comes a lot with the choice of genre that you're putting it in. So for me, if I have thriller attached to it, I want a twist ending. I
Okay.
want shocking. I
Yeah.
want to be reading it and being like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Look at this new thing they just found. If this is going to be more of a suspense thing, then we really need to lean more towards on the mystery side of things. So to me, this is not a thriller. They
Yeah.
wanted to make it a thriller because it's like dead bodies and da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. But
Yeah.
really, this felt like way more of a mystery to me.
Yeah,
And I
I'd
am
agree with
not,
that.
mysteries bore me. Half the time I guess the ending if I'm not checked out. And that's really hard, like annoying for me because I
Yeah,
don't
it is.
want to sit there and be like, are you gonna fucking realize what's going on? Fucking going on.
One thing
So,
that, Go
why I
ahead.
stay
Sorry.
out of it. No, I was saying this is why I stay out of that section.
I see. I go through like ways of wanting to read thriller slash suspense for some reason. And again, like in the summer, instead of doing rom-coms, which a lot of people do, this is like my beach read because it's just kind of turn my brain off and just kind of float along with it and see where it takes me, you know? Um, some of the writing I thought was a little melodramatic and repetitive about
Yes.
things. Like there was one, like, you know, we heard a lot about Beth's resentment toward Nicole and Michael. We heard a lot about Nicole feeling her life was a dead end. And I was like, you sound like a broken record. And there was one line that I wrote down because it's just an example of how so many other sentences were like this. I could put out all the fires she started in the backyard, but I couldn't extinguish the inferno of anger blazing inside her. That wasn't the exact quote, but it's something very much like that. And I was just like, oh my God, yes, okay. We're very emo right now and we're very dramatic. Let's just keep going. So that bothered me about it. And I didn't really see a difference between the narrative voices.
No,
I had a
not
hard
at all.
time telling who was narrating each one,
I was,
especially when it was the
yes.
sisters. So it was not a great triple narrative situation for me.
Triple? Are you forgetting about the fourth narrative that I was
Shit.
going to ask
Okay.
you?
Yes, that's right. That's
Did
right.
that
I forgot
even
about
help
that.
in all of it? Because to me, the fourth one was really stupid.
That's right. I forgot about the mom one.
That lended nothing to the story.
Yeah.
Okay, that actually makes me think. Problem with this book is that there was no tension in it whatsoever. That is the problem, is that there was no tension, and the tension was forced and made up and based on circumstances instead of actual tension.
I wasn't very tense reading it. I do have to admit that.
Well, but it's not like the literal tension. You know how I always say, like, when you're writing, make
Yeah.
sure your scenes have tension and have energy and emotion and, like, okay, we're doing something here. I think of it more as, like, the energy word, and there was just nothing there. It was all forced. It was all, like, which I guess when you think about someone dying and you're forced together, I mean, you are forced to come
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
to do the things.
Yeah. I mean, I was annoyed with Nicole. I found her incredibly annoying.
No, Beth annoyed me more than Nicole.
Beth was also slightly annoying. I liked Michael a lot, and I was quite disappointed to find out that he was a psychopathic killer because I'm like, he's the only one who's got his fucking head on straight over here.
Yeah,
Nope. Nope. Killer.
you gotta watch out for the good ones.
I know, right? Seriously.
Which I did look up the Freedom of Fadden book, and it was, I just blanked it. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. It was Never Lie. That's the one I read. So
Okay.
I did I did like that one a lot. The only one I've read, but I think it's a good jumping off point.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, what else can I say? I wanted more.
Yeah, I could see
wanted
that.
more.
I could see that.
I'm demented. Let's be honest. I'm so fucking, like, Karen Slaughter, How Disgusting Pretty Girls Is, or I think it's the one. That book is so fucking disgusting. Like, it is, and I still loved it.
Like disgusting, like body grossness, disgusting.
I mean,
At least
it's
there's
just,
tension. If you're discovering mutilated bodies, at least there's some tension.
it's more of, I think, how, like, the killer accident and
Okay.
the shit that happens. And, yeah.
Okay, I haven't read that one, so I do not know. I definitely read lighter
Yeah,
thrillers.
this should be horror. My friend really hates Karen Slaughter
Okay.
because she writes about her hometown and she's like, this is fucking bullshit and she's painting us in a horrible light. And how dare she ruin my
What town is it set in?
Atlanta, mostly.
Oh, okay.
So she gets really pissed off about that.
Okay.
So I can't talk to her about that author because she just gets mad. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so you have thriller summers. I feel like I have fantasy summers. Like, I'm really getting into fantasy right now, and I'm really excited to get on to the next Robin Hobb book. And I feel like I had another book on my list. Oh, the new V. Schwab book came out, so I'm really excited
Oh,
about
nice. Okay.
that.
Okay. So would you read another Jeneva
No.
Rose book? I knew the answer. I knew the answer to that before, as did you, before I even finished my question. I would read another one by her. I liked it enough that I would read more. I was like, oh, I like this author.
You don't even know how much I was judging you when I walked over Mystery and Thriller, and I was just like, God fucking damn it. God damn it.
Yeah, but we agreed we wanted to diversify our reads
How
with
about
different
this?
genres.
If we have to read another thriller, I get to pick it.
You get to pick the next thriller. Yes, I agree to that.
Because I'm gonna find a book that lives up to its name. Thriller.
Since CJ light and frothy thrillers are not your cup of tea.
Why do I feel like you're just a light and frothy person?
Excuse me, I can be a very dark person. I am writing about dead children right now.
Let's be honest, your book is kind of light and frothy horror.
You have not read all of it yet, madam.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, maybe. But still, I can be very dark with the rest of them. I wrote very dark poetry when I was in middle school. Teachers and my mother were very worried about me.
You feel very Darcy Coates, like the book I read by her.
I like Darcy Coates, so I will take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Did you read her, what is it? The Caro House or whatever?
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah, like, it was spooky, but it was light and frothy.
Yeah,
spooky.
I'm not like a Stephen King kind of horror gal. No.
See, I'm a
definitely
Stephen
not.
King.
Yeah, I'm not a Stephen King.
Like, my true horror book that I'm going to work on soon. Yeah.
That dream I had the other night that I told you about with the splints to the legs and the missing eye, now that is not a light and frothy horror book, but I don't want to
No.
write it. So, yeah,
See,
I
that's
guess.
the problem.
Okay, you're completely right. I am light and frothy horror. Okay, yes.
Okay, this cover fucked it too. It really, like,
It
no,
looks,
oh, go ahead.
it looks so much like the Paul Tremblay cover.
Paul Tremblay.
He had another book about movies.
Oh, like horror movie one. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I keep getting them confused. The two
I do want to
covers.
read that one.
Yeah, I
'Cause
hear
it-
that someone's really good.
What was it? How to Make a Horror Movie I kept getting them confused.
I know,
Which-
we read the other one by the same time.
Craig DeLuey, is that how we say his name?
Yes, we read that one for this.
I think he came out with a new book.
Oh.
Oh, okay, fine.
I liked the first one. I didn't like the second one. It depends on what he's writing about in the third one.
Okay, well, whatever. I was going to say something.
Gone now, forever.
Shit. Oh, so I find, which reminds me, I need to ask you a question off the podcast.
I won't remember that.
I will try to remember. There are two things we need to talk about off podcast.
Movie.
Yes, but I have
forget
another
what about
like,
the movie,
new
though.
one. New one. Anyway.
Okay.
So I will say though, because she does, I did like her little. I don't know if your copy had it. My copy had like pictures of her hometown that she based this on, and like
Oh
a
no,
little
it did
like
not.
little like fun
Oh, I
thing.
wish
Like
I had that.
this is the bridge, everyone. That is the supposed bridge that
Oh, where the bodies
Anyway,
were. Okay.
So literally the whole town is based entirely on where she grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho's, I did appreciate her moment of talking about her inspiration for this because I guess she was watching home videos and she turned to her husband and was like, "So what if like my parents walked down here with a dead body?" Which is really what I did also expect is more of like a dead body. Whole moment. I know it happened later, but like him actually dragging it and anyway.
I mean,
I do like
there
that
was a dead
premise.
body.
Yeah. I do like that premise. Like, I'm pissed that it's already done now. Because I like that premise a lot. Like, that is like, if you want to sit down and make a book and be like, all right, what would happen if I was watching home videos and I stumbled on my parents' sex tape, but essentially instead of a sex tape, it is them
Which
dragging
is
a
the
dead
greater
body.
horror to discover? Parents having sex or parents
Parents
burying
having
a
sex.
body?
Parents having sex.
Yeah, definitely. That shit gonna stay with you.
Yeah, that's gonna stay in the whole like dog. I'm not gonna write about that. I'm not gonna write about dogs dying. But yeah, so I mean, it's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
That's how I felt about Listen to Your Sister. When you told me what happened, because I checked out, that was the one I checked out for. I was like, oh my God, this is a great idea for a novel. I wish I had enjoyed it more. But I
I
did.
guess we can't like
You
everything.
can't like everything. Not everything's a
No.
winner for all of us.
Someone on our listener list is like me and hates thrillers for this reason.
I'm sure somebody else did not like this book. I'm sure somebody else did like this book. So it all evens out in the end, and you can pick the next thriller that we do.
Okay, I am going to because I feel like we need one next year too, and I'm going to pick it.
Yes. I think we should do like a couple next year.
Okay, fine. But that means we have to do like a dark fantasy or a dark
I will read dark
academia
fantasy.
book.
I will
Okay.
read both of those.
Oh, I get to pick a dark fantasy for
You get
next
to
year?
pick a dark fantasy. Get to pick a dark fantasy.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I feel like I picked a lot of books this year. So I'm passing it over to you, my friend, to get your vengeance upon me for a lot for the Bog Wife in particular, and then for this one.
Hey, but you did pick Bat Eater, and that is, it's still winning.
I
Number
had to
one
have
of the
something to
year.
redeem myself. I picked that and Schrader's Court, so at least
Trader's Court is so good.
see,
I'm
at
doing
least I picked two winners.
doing the, I don't know if it's gone across their Instagram yet, if they're in the bookish Instagram community, but there is a girl who's going around and embroidering little images of her favorite books on her sleeves of her sweatshirt.
Oh, cute.
And I am making up my designs to also do that.
Nice.
And I am putting Schrader's Court on a sleeve.
Nice.
I want to do Bat Eater, but I don't know what image to do to represent the book because
I don't think you can do a bat because I don't think that's appropriate.
No, exactly. And the front is just too busy.
What about Harvey in a washing machine?
How about a washing machine? No, but yeah, I was thinking. I don't know. See, if you think of something, let me know.
Okay.
Because
All
I
right.
would like to memorialize it. But I agree. I thought of the bat, like, oh, bat. No.
No, not a bat. Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
But I don't know of any other image that is like an image. You know what I mean? That you can like.
It's funny that you bring this up because earlier today I was thinking about it would be kind of fun if we dressed up at Halloween like a character from one of the books that we've read over the past year. And I'm like, I don't know if I remember a lot of the characters, number one. So I would have to like actively like think about that as I'm reading new books. But I'm like, what will you do for Bat Eater? I'm like, there's a lot we cannot do to dress up like Bat Eater, the book. So
No, but we could be like a ghost with a spindly neck or something.
I don't know how to make my neck spindly.
I was thinking a jade bracelet.
Oh, I like that.
So that did come into my head.
Yes, I like that.
Don't know how to depict that, but I had that thought.
You work on it. That's a creative goal.
Anywho's, are you going to change your rating? Did I drag you down?
I think I'm going to be 3. I'm too lazy to change it on Goodreads, but in my heart, it's a 3.
I won. I won. And you didn't convince me.
I didn't think I was going to. I knew going into this that I had nothing to convince you. I'm just like, I liked it because I liked it.
That's okay. We are allowed to like shit because we just like it. There is
Yep.
nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Like, I'm really over the hate on social media. I don't know if you've heard the drama.
Probably not.
And don't ask specifics because I don't remember the author or the book. But there's an author who I think essentially made a fandom stand, like kind of like saying like I like Edward more than Jacob, kind of like
Okay.
vibe. Like nothing really controversial in that
Okay,
sense. Or just
yeah.
anything. It's just like I like this character more than this character.
Okay.
Okay. Not about like books and like having controversy about any of that. And I guess this person got like so fucking attacked for that comment that she deleted her Instagram for making a comment of what like fandom they like.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
it is fine.
Okay.
Like, even though I don't like this book, that is nothing against Rose. She's written many books. Many people like her. I hope you like this book. I hope you didn't waste your time reading it and that you loved it. Just because my opinion is I don't like it, this is not my cup of tea, does not mean that it is inherently wrong. Like I said.
Unlike Nothing But Blackened Teeth. I just had to throw that in there.
Now, like, there's just one author that I think did something extremely wrong. And that person is why I don't like them. Because I think that they made very wrong choices in their life.
Is that the movie person?
Yes.
Okay.
But, like, just because I don't like something does not mean it's inherently, like, the person's bad
No,
or it's bad.
It's called an opinion.
Art is subjective.
Yes.
Like, we're not supposed to all like the same shit. If we all like the same shit, we'd be so fucking boring.
I hate Ernest Hemingway's writing. And I think he was a piece of shit as a person. There's really no winning there for me. But people love him. Okay. I'm
really
probably
like
not friends with those people, but that's okay. I have enough friends. But you're entitled to like him and have your own opinion.
Are you not friends with them?
Oh, I see I am. I don't know why I'm surprised, woman who enjoys short, punchy sentences without much emotion in them. Okay.
I liked East of Eden a lot.
I have not read that one.
It was very formidable to my youth. Okay, leave me alone.
Okay, I did not read that one, so I cannot judge. But all right, looking at you with slightly new eyes, not gonna lie. But I shouldn't be surprised given your writing style. Because you like things short.
That feels so like
No, I
fighting
didn't mean that in a
word.
bad way. No, I meant because you're an active voice person, not a passive voice person.
Don't worry, I'm judging you because you won't read fantasy and you're missing this whole beautiful like side of the world. You want escapism? You want escapism?
Yes.
Read fantasy. Okay. Why don't you like fantasy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't. I like some fantasy, but I don't know. I just can't get into it. But
You
maybe
like-
I'll like the dark fantasy ones that you pick next year.
You liked The Bear and the Nightingale though, right?
I did. I love that one.
Okay. All right.
I'm very
Well, no.
selective in my fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, 'cause you also liked House on the Cerulean Sea, which I
Yeah.
guess is maybe considered
I would consider it. See, like that lighter, again, with the light and frothy, like lighter fantasy, where it gets too into stuff, then I don't think I
Yeah,
like it.
I would never recommend an epic for you. Ever.
Yeah.
Not like the 19 book series I'm on now.
I've tried
Okay.
some ones.
Yeah,
okay,
go
go ahead.
No, you.
I was just gonna say, I've tried some ones where they invent so many different characters and creatures and the world bank. Those are where you tend to lose me. I need to be grounded in a little bit of reality still.
I understand that 100%, and I can get why you don't like it. I'm gonna find a fantasy book that you like.
Okay.
I am on a mission now.
All right, you go for it.
Okay, but we've gone off the rails
okay.
so much
All
on
right,
this
we can wrap
episode and
this up.
dragged it on. I am announcing our second book of the month for July, and we are going a little different here, and I'm excited. This is also a CJ recommendation, but we're going to go in the nonfiction realm. And if you're wondering where to find this book in your bookstore, I believe I ended up finding it in the biology section.
Oh, interesting.
I want to say it was it was a very fun treasure hunt to figure out where this is, but it is Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty? Is that how we're saying it?
Sounds good to me.
I'm excited about this. This is going to answer some of the questions that might be keeping you up at night, such as, will my cat eat my eyeballs?
Yep. If you're dead, not while you're alive, just when you're dead.
Yeah, and other questions about dead bodies. So this is going to answer all the questions about dead bodies that you may be wondering about when you commit murder and, all that stuff. Wait, there's art in here? I didn't know that.
Oh, nice.
So,
I
to
enjoy
read
art.
the synopsis on the back, everyone has questions about death. In Will Cat Eat My Eyeballs, best-selling author and mortician, yes, a mortician, Caitlin Doughty answers the most intriguing question she's ever received about what happens to our bodies when we die. In a brisk, informative, and morbidly funny style, Doughty explores everything from ancient Egyptian death rituals and the science of skeletons to flesh-eating insects and the proper depth at which to bury your pet if you want Fluffy to become a mummy. Now, oh, wait, hold on. I need to know that. I need to know that.
Oh my God.
Now featuring an interview with a clinical expert on discussing these issues with young people. The source of some of our
Start
most
'em young.
revealing questions about death, Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs, confronts our common fear of dying with candid, honest, and hilarious facts about what awaits the body we leave behind.
I am so excited for this book. I have it upstairs. I think I am going to go start reading it when we finish recording this podcast because I read Caitlin's other book, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and it was fantastic. It was funny. It was visceral. It was a little gross. I'm not going to lie. Like, I learned some stuff that made me want to hurl, but it's so educational in a fun way. And I feel like the Cat Will Eat My Eyeballs book is going to be the same type of story. So I'm very excited.
If I like this book, I may have to read her other one too.
It's so good.
Because that's the one about her being a mortician, right?
What'd you say?
Is that the one about her being a mortician? Actually,
It talks about her
working?
doing like mortician stuff and what she learned. And she also has really good info about like the funereal industry and what a bullshit con it is basically. And it gives you a lot of alternatives for burial and cremation because you learn really what happens and what is needed with those and what is not needed more likely. And I happen to like the mushroom one where you become like a
Oh.
mushroom or like a fungus and you're fed back into the earth.
Oh.
That's
I'm
my
gonna go
preferred way.
become a coral reef. That's
Oh,
my
I like
dream.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Because you can wait till both partners die too. Like you have them hold on to your ashes until you both die, and then you can both go together. And then they geotag you, so like your family can know where in the water you are.
Oh, I like that. That's
So
cool.
I'm also, in a sense, becoming the ocean's fungus.
There you go. That's a sentence that you never thought you would utter in life.
I mean,
I think that we should wrap it up on that one. You really can't get much better than ocean fungus. I am the ocean fungus.
All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for making it this far. Hopefully you had a good laugh and this was some great escapism for you. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the episode so that others like you can also find this deranged information. And if you still need to get your copy for next episode, make sure to use our bookshop.org link below. By doing so, you help give a small percentage back to us at no extra cost to you. And it's a great alternative to Amazon because it allows you to pick an independent bookstore of your choice to help support as well. So thank you so much, friends, for listening, and we will see you next time.